June 4th, 1944. Evening. The largest invasion in human history is on hold. 150,000 soldiers, 5,000 ships, 11,000 aircraft. Waiting, because of the weather. In a room at Southwick House, England, a Scottish meteorologist stands in front of Eisenhower and says something that no one else in the room believes. There is a window. 36 hours. Beginning June 6th, every other forecast disagrees. Every other meteorologist in the Allied command sees the same data and reaches a different conclusion. Eisenhower looks at him. He has 1 hour to decide. If Stagg is right, the invasion launches. If Stagg is wrong, 150,000 men sail into a storm that will destroy them before they reach the beach. Eisenhower says, "Okay, we go." We believe that great decisions are made with more information, that the person who decides correctly saw something others missed, knew something others didn't, had access to data that made the choice clear. We are wrong about this. The most consequential decisions in history are rarely made with more information than everyone else. They are made by someone willing to trust one signal over the noise. You are certain about something right now that you have never actually tested. You believe the consensus. You believe the majority reading. You believe the forecast that everyone agrees on. That certainty has a shape. It feels like confidence. It feels like wisdom. The German meteorologists in June 1944 were certain there was no weather window. They had the same data as Stagg. They reached a different conclusion. They were wrong. And their certainty kept one of Germany's most experienced commanders away from his post on the morning of the invasion. June 4th, 1944, 9:30 p.m., Southwick House, Hampshire, England. The room is full of the most powerful military commanders in the Western world. Eisenhower, Montgomery, Tedder, Ramsey, Lee Mallory. They have been here before. 24 hours earlier, Stagg stood in this same room and recommended postponement. The weather was too severe. The invasion scheduled for June 5th was called off. Now it is June 4th. The window for June is closing. The tides that make the landing possible occur only a few days each month. Miss this window, and the invasion waits until late June at the earliest. Every day of delay is a day the Germans can reinforce the Atlantic Wall. A day the secret of the invasion location might break. A day the alliance strains further. Stagg stands up. He has identified a gap in the weather system, a narrow corridor of relative calm, beginning the morning of June 6th, lasting approximately 36 hours. The winds will drop, the cloud will lift. Not perfectly, not ideally, but enough. Enough for the ships, enough for the aircraft, enough for the paratroopers. He presents his forecast. He is precise about the uncertainty. He does not claim certainty he does not have. He says, "This is what I see. This is the window. This is what I believe." The room is quiet. Eisenhower looks at him for a long moment. "How long do you need to make a final decision?" "Until 9:30 tomorrow morning," Stagg says. Eisenhower nods. The next morning, June 5th, 4:15 a.m., Stagg confirms the forecast. The window is holding. Eisenhower stands up. He walks to the window. He looks at the rain still falling outside. "Okay," he says. "We go." The invasion launches on June 6th, 1944. The weather is not perfect. It is never perfect, but it is within the margins Stagg predicted. The paratroopers drop in the early hours. The naval bombardment begins at dawn. The landing craft hit the beaches: Utah, Omaha, Gold, Juneau, Sword. The cost is enormous. Omaha Beach becomes a catastrophe of blood and courage that no forecast could have prevented. But the invasion holds. By nightfall on June 6th, the Allies have a foothold in France. And there is something else. While Eisenhower was trusting Stagg, the German Meteorological Service was reaching the opposite conclusion. Their forecast showed no break in the weather. Their models predicted continued storm conditions through June 6th and beyond. Erwin Rommel, one of Germany's most experienced commanders responsible for the defense of the Atlantic Wall, looked at the German forecast. He decided the weather made Allied invasion impossible for at least another week. He got in his car. He drove to Germany. He was going home to give his wife a pair of shoes for her birthday. His absence removed him from the decision chain on the morning of the invasion. He will turn around when he gets the phone call. He will drive back through the night. He will arrive too late. Historical records tell us what happened. The simulation asks how fragile that outcome really was. We asked AI to change only one thing at a time. Same armies, same beaches, same commanders. Only one variable changed, nothing else. Across multiple scenarios, the variations consistently pointed in one direction. Some scenarios diverged. Here is what they showed. Eisenhower does not believe the window. The invasion is postponed to June 19th. Everything else remains identical. The simulation shifts. On June 19, 1944, one of the worst channel storms in decades strikes the Normandy coast. This is historically documented. The storm destroys one of the two artificial harbors the Allies had constructed. It delays supply operations by weeks. In this scenario, the invasion does not launch on June 19th. It cannot. The scenarios consistently show delay pushes the invasion toward July. German reinforcement of the Atlantic Wall accelerates. The element of surprise, already fragile, erodes further. The simulation does not conclude that the invasion fails, but across the scenarios tested, the probability of a successful landing decreases dramatically with every week of delay. Leverage, extreme, same forecast, same data. But the German Meteorological Service reaches Stagg's conclusion instead of their own. The simulation shifts. Rommel does not leave for Germany. He remains at his command post on June 6th. German panzer reserves are placed on alert. The rapid armored response that the Allies feared and that Hitler's hesitation historically prevented arrives at the beaches within hours. Across the scenarios tested, this variable produces the most contested outcomes. Some show the Allied beachhead holding under pressure. Others show a German counterattack pushing the invasion back into the sea. The scenarios do not agree on who wins, but they agree on something else. German meteorological failure on June 5th and 6th was as consequential as any decision made in that room. Leverage, very high. Stagg's postponement recommendation is ignored. The invasion launches on the original date. Into the storm. The simulation shifts. And here, the scenarios produce a surprising result. The popular assumption is that June 5th would have been catastrophic. The storm would have destroyed the invasion. But across the controlled variations, the picture is more complex. Some scenarios show severe losses, but a surviving beachhead. The storm on June 5th, while serious, was not as extreme at beach level as conditions further out to sea. Some landing craft might have reached the shore. Surprisingly, this variable shows lower leverage than expected. The invasion's robustness may have been greater than the popular narrative suggests. History was not maximally fragile here. The window mattered enormously, but June 5th was not necessarily catastrophic. It was a significantly worse option, not an impossible one. Leverage, high, lower than assumed. What the scenarios consistently identify: Stagg's forecast mattered, Rommel's absence mattered. But the highest sensitivity variable was not the forecast itself. It was whether the forecast was believed. The same data existed on both sides. The same weather system moved over the same channel. The difference between Stagg and his German counterparts was not access to information. It was the willingness to read a signal differently when every other voice in the room was reading it the same way. And here is where the simulation stops. It can model weather windows. It can calculate the leverage of arrival times and forecast accuracy. It can identify the highest sensitivity variable in a documented military system. What it cannot model is Stagg, standing in a room full of generals, certain that he sees something no one else sees, certain enough to say so, not certain enough to promise it. This is what I believe. That is not a variable. That is a person. James Stagg. He was a meteorologist, not a soldier, not a strategist, not a hero in any conventional sense. He was a man who read weather patterns for a living and who stood in the most consequential briefing room of the 20th century and said what he believed when no one else believed it. He was 43 years old in June 1944. He had spent months preparing the meteorological framework for the largest military operation in history. He understood the stakes. He understood that if he was wrong, men would die because of his forecast. He presented his data. He stated his uncertainty. He did not oversell. He did not back down. After the war, Stagg returned to meteorology. He worked at the Met Office. He wrote a memoir, Forecast for Overlord, published in 1971. It sold modestly. It was read by specialists. His name does not appear in most accounts of D-Day. The man whose forecast opened Europe spent the rest of his life doing what he had always done, reading the sky, telling people what he saw, hoping they would believe him. June 6, 1944. The window holds. Utah Beach, secured. Gold, Juneau, Sword, secured. Omaha, secured at enormous cost. By nightfall, the Allies are in France. By August 25th, Paris is liberated. By May 8, 1945, Germany surrenders. And on the other side of the channel, the German Meteorological Service files its June 6th report. Weather conditions unfavorable for Allied operations. No invasion expected. Rommel's car is somewhere on the road to Germany. His birthday present for his wife is on the seat beside him. He will turn around when he gets the phone call. He will drive back through the night. He will arrive too late. The window that the Germans said did not exist had already closed behind 150,000 men who were already on the beaches. All of it because one man saw a gap in the clouds that no one else was willing to trust. The stress test suggests that one of the most decisive moments occurred before a single soldier reached the beach. Not on the sand, not in the water, not under fire, in a room, at 9:30 in the evening, where one man said, "I see a window," and one man chose to believe him. This is the architecture of consequential decisions. Not more data, not better information, not certainty. One signal, read differently, trusted when the consensus said otherwise. Every system you operate inside has this moment. The forecast that the majority dismisses, the data point that doesn't fit the model, the voice in the room that says, "I see something different." Most of the time, the majority is right, the consensus holds, the model works. But occasionally, rarely, the divergent signal is the only true one. And the question is never, did you have the right data? Everyone had the same data. The question is, were you willing to read it differently when every other voice in the room was reading it the same way? Stagg was. Eisenhower believed him. The window opened. This is History AI. We don't talk about history, we decode it. Right now, somewhere in your organization, someone is looking at the same data as everyone else and reaching a different conclusion. Not because they have more information, because they are reading it differently. History suggests that is exactly the person you should listen to first. The stress test cannot tell you whether that signal is right. It can only tell you that the history of consequential decisions is not the history of better information. It is the history of the moments when someone trusted one true signal over the noise of everything else. The question is not whether your system has a weather window. It does. The question is, who in your room is reading the sky differently? And are you listening? And in the next episode, a file, a desk, a company that needed an answer before Christmas. The person who received it was 1 month into a new job. She did not sign it, and that changed everything.